All right, hello, lovely people. We are back with the Ricky Gervais Show. I'm actually very excited about this one because I'm on season 3, episode 2, and everybody's been telling me season 3 is the best one. And the first episode of season 3 was freaking amazing. So I'm excited, and people were like, "Oh, the next one's even better." So, comic relief. Also, I checked, and the opening gag scene thing was just the first episode. I kind of wanted to watch it again and have it repeat, but nope, it didn't. So let's do this. Oh, I was supposed to. Whatever.
So, Red Nose Day, Comic Relief, has come round again.
Yeah, Red Nose Day is obviously the very specific day in the calendar for the whole generic term Comic Relief, I think.
It's normally when the telecast happens.
Yeah.
People know that that's the day when they can dress up, do charitable acts. But of course, Comic Relief is a charity that's working all the time for disenfranchised all over the world. Have you always been a strong champion of Comic Relief, Carl?
Not really.
Of course not. They're already
Why was
laughing.
I expecting that answer.
But
Of
I
course.
do loads of stuff without going on about it.
My gift to the world has been you, Carl, to be quite honest.
An
I feel
amazing
that
gift.
you're the world's
I'm
now.
sure there's people in Africa going, we prefer blankets.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Doing a Wills charity, innit?
Is it?
Sort of.
I mean,
No, it is.
if you make a donation to a charity within the will, I suppose that's quite charitable. But
Do you
just
mean-
giving money to your relatives is it?
Of course it is.
Well,
They
it
shouldn't
is.
have it.
They're
They
getting something for nothing, but it's... I don't know. It's giving something away that you have no use for.
Exactly.
Yeah,
mean,
but forget that. It's someone is getting something when
Yeah.
they've done nothing for it, really.
Well, it is. I suppose it is charity, but charity is usually infused with some sort of altruism. It's like it's not charity on your part because you're literally not around anymore. So it's no longer you giving it. It's just some
Yeah, but
money
I could
there
either
was.
give it them or not give it them. Once I'm dead and I've turned to mush, I
100%.
shouldn't be worrying about Suzanne's mum getting a table.
Is that what
you
you're
know-
leaving her?
Well, I called up my dad first.
Why are you
and said,
doing a will for the show?
Because of this travel thing
Right,
I'm
yeah.
doing, and it can get dangerous, you know.
But why haven't you done a will up to now?
Because you sort of, I don't know, I felt sort of young and free. Whereas now I'm...
That's never 2 words I've associated with Carl. He's always seemed like a man who's in his late 50s.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
I've certainly
yeah.
never the idea that you're free.
more-
Even if we're just talking about the head alone, it's the head of a late 50-year-old.
Free of hair?
Yeah, totally free of fucking hair.
I'm sort of getting on first name terms with my doctor.
Oh, really?
Chatting more. Oh, what is it this time?
How's your middle finger?
You
Not
know.
too bad, Carl.
All that sort of thing. So it's just made me think...
Have you had that done for the will, by the way, for insurance
I think
and
you
stuff?
need to, don't you, for a will?
I think you do.
There's nothing on the paper.
For the will, by the way, for insurance
I
and
think
stuff.
you need to, don't you, for a will?
I think you do.
There's nothing on the
prostate
paper.
exam.
No.
No, listen, for insurance purposes, I think you need to have a testicular exam for testicular cancer. You're just leaving the high risk for testicular cancer, actually, and you're entering the high risk for prostate cancer.
And you can have both at the same time.
You could have both
the
at the same
examination
time,
at the same time.
if he's a very dexterous doctor.
I wouldn't want that.
Why? Too much like...
It's just too
Too
much
playful.
going on. It's like someone juggling you.
Yeah, it's like being examined by Squiddly Diddly.
And so you said you called up your dad.
Called him up. I said, is there anything you want if I die?
Right. And presumably, you know, Suzanne, she's getting the lion's share.
She is. But then the fella who was on the end of the phone talking us through it all was going, oh, you should get married. I was going, oh, shut up. He's saying, well, it make things a lot easier when it comes to this. And it's like, well, that isn't a reason to get married, is it?
Well,
So she can have all my stuff. I said, I've wrote on the bit of paper that she can have it. But it's something about tax. If you're not married, you have to hand over more. I think you get so much, and then
course.
it's like ridiculous tax rate.
yeah.
But she's going, that's why we should get married. I'm going to be paying tax. I'm going, hang on a minute. She's already like thinking about money loss instead of me disappearing. She's going, yeah, we should. I said, look, you'll be getting a load of money. I said, if I die on this programme anyway, I'm insured. You'll be
Yeah.
getting about £1 million for that.
Yeah.
I said, so that's something you haven't got now.
If he would have died on An Idiot Abroad, she would get £1 million. That's interesting. Jeez. I don't know how to word this, but they were like willing him. I don't know how to word this. They were like willingly sending him to things that they thought were so dangerous that his girlfriend needs to be insured. £1 million in case he died. Like, and that's why he started a will. Jeez.
Yeah.
Got nowhere near that now. I said, so even if you have to pay tax on that,
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be right to get married just in case I get killed.
Have your two sets of parents met?
No.
That'd be good, would it?
Well, I suppose it's a reason to, isn't it? At least if you're getting married, there's a reason for them to meet. At the moment, there's no reason for them to meet. No. They'd get on each other's nerves. My dad wouldn't get on with a man.
Why?
Just wouldn't. She doesn't like me, so she won't like me dad. Because he's just an exaggerated version.
Oh, wow.
I think...
With the Tic Tacs, too. I could not imagine a more exaggerated version of Carl. That's just, like, mind-blowing.
So, I think it doesn't need to happen.
But you could just nip down the registry office, get it done and dusted, and you just phone up your folks and say, it's already happened,
I
it's too
said
late.
that. I said, listen, if we had to do it, I said if it was like we've got to do it for some reason, I said I'd do that. We can have it done by 2. You can be back in work for 3.
The drive-through one.
Because at the end of the day, there's no. You can be back in
Ricky's
work for 3.
face.
Because at the end of the day, there's no. You know, we've known each other for years.
Yeah.
We're not going to suddenly turn into some sort of Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan film just because we got married. Yeah. It's going to be the same, exactly the same.
Yeah. Me and Jane were out with them and Suzanne the other night, right, at dinner, and honestly, he is so grumpy. He was saying about for Christmas, right? He said you've had a flaw. You've had a flaw. Now, what did that mean?
We had a new floor put in.
But how is that her floor?
Because she wanted it.
But you walk on it too.
I paid for it. I don't understand what
But
you
don't
mean.
you understand that, like, you know, a romantic break or clothes or perfumes, you know, sort of things that are kind of indulgent for a lady, that's a gift.
What?
Not a new floor.
That is like something you give to some little African fella on Comic Relief. In fact, I think I saw it once. He didn't have a floor.
Exactly.
They built him a floor. I remember watching it with you, and they gave him a new pair of shoes and the floor. He went, hold on, floor or shoes, not both. So you
That's a
think
very
charity
Carl
is
thing.
all right, as long as people don't get above their station with charity?
I think it should be there as a little booster.
Right.
They've always got their hand out.
Right.
And it's been like that since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid, people knocking on the door, my mum going, don't look at the door, there's someone there.
Look at it.
And we'd just pretend they weren't
Charity
there.
starts at home, not at your home.
No, but because it's all the time. I mean, my mum didn't like answering the door anyway, even if it was the pools man, she'd sort of say, don't move, and he might not see that we're here.
So you just froze where a man was at the door.
Well, because the front room was near the door, so people
Right.
could see in.
Right.
So you just sort of stayed there and pretend that either you
Well, so
can't hear
like
him.
some sort of predator, like they can't see you if you don't move.
Well, even if he was peering in through the window and he could see you in there not moving.
So he looked through, and there was 3 people just frozen, right, like statues, right, just their eyes looking at him,
Yeah.
and
well,
him confused.
Well,
not-
they're clearly dead. I'll move on.
Of course. Oh, dude. Especially, like, after it got dark, there's a scene in Insidious that's kind of like that. I think it's Insidious 2. I don't remember, but it's kind of like that. Very, very creepy.
There's obviously been a gas leak.
If you like scary movies and you haven't seen Insidious, highly recommended. They made like 4 or 5 of them. The last ones are trash, like everything they do. But the first 1 or 2 were pretty good, so. Little tip.
There's obviously been a gas leak.
And did you say sitting or stand up, or did you sort of like throw yourself
No,
to
we
the
just
floor?
sat on the where you were, and you just stayed still.
But did he ever look in and see?
I don't know, because you didn't turn round, did you?
So you would pretend you couldn't hear the door?
It seemed to be the 80s. Had a lot of it, because it was all the Avon thing, wasn't it? It was
Oh.
perfume,
Yeah.
Tupperware.
What?
Tupperware.
Tupperware.
Yeah, the plastic boxes.
Top.
It's dishes for fat people. Here we go. Oh, these are big. God, they are. They're for fat fuckers like you to eat out of.
Just a lot of charity stuff.
And they didn't teach
Just a
him.
lot-
It's
it
top
seemed to be the
or
time
aware.
in the 80s that they suddenly found out they can sort of scav money off people.
Okay, right. Let's do the scenario. I'm at the door.
The door. Or I'm at the door. Oh.
I can see you in there. You might as well come open the door. Carl? Carl? Why are you staying so still? Are you trying to avoid me?
It's working.
Carl, your eyes are moving.
How
Can
does
you
he
come
see
to the
that?
door, please?
Fabulous Freaks. He's reading, of course.
I suppose in the end you've got to move
Carl, no, I'm going to stay here. I'm just going to stay here until you have to move.
I could
Carl.
I could imagine him in the little studio, and just like, oh no, I'm sorry, it's Carl. For Steven to be laughing, you just
Okay,
know
I'll
this is
move on then.
hilarious.
Right.
It works.
Whatever they're seeing.
Works
Okay.
perfectly.
Because
Brilliant.
once they've got you, that's the whole thing with charity. Once they've stopped you in the street, if you've stopped, that's it.
Keeps on going.
I mean, the good thing now is
Not
you've got
true.
an iPod, so you can just either pretend you're on the phone or listen to music.
Or just stay very still. Just freeze. When someone says, can I trouble you for... Oh, he's totally frozen.
That would be amazing because they're normally in one spot, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's just
So
they're
as soon
carrying
as
on
they
selling,
stop you,
and
so
you've
that
got
you're
to
just
stay there for
freezing.
the rest of it outside Waitrose for 7 hours.
Yeah, it goes dark. Well, I finished my shift. I'm off, and then you just see your eyes just see them walk away like that, and they all meet in their little tunics, and then you start walking. They look back, and you freeze, and then they walk on, and then you can go home 7 hours late.
There you go.
Ever since I was young, I've always liked going in charity shops, particularly because you find sort of interesting.
Oh my goodness. What did Stephen Merchant look like when he was young? I'm gonna need to remember to Google this later. Are there pictures of him as a child? Has he always been so incredibly tall? Okay. I need to make a note of that. I'm gonna forget, but I need to make a note of that.
Since I was young, I've always liked going in charity shops, particularly because you find sort of interesting old records in there. Never sort of gone in there to buy clothes and stuff, but books, whatever. And I was in a charity shop, and I've patronized them for years. And I noticed out through the window there was like a paparazzi guy, and he was taking pictures of me through the window. It was a bit weird. And obviously, the old ladies in there didn't have any idea who I was, so they just thought that was a bit strange. And then it was in one of the magazines, like the kind of celebrity magazines. It was, oh, here's Steve Merchant. Despite all the money he must have made from his various projects, he's still going in charity shops. And you just think, but sorry, how is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
Sure.
I give a lot of stuff to charity. A lot. Most of the time, just because it's nearer than the wheelie bin is. It's just a way of getting rid of garbage most of the time with me. Stick it all in a bin bag. Good stuff on the top. The stuff that you're embarrassed about, stick it in the bottom of the bag.
What are you embarrassed about?
Just old shoes, trainers.
Some of the books you've written.
Socks, underpants.
Underpants. You do not give underpants to charity.
Washed.
But who's gonna wash? I know.
The way he
as opposed to
said
charity.
it. Washed.
But who's gonna wash? I know, as opposed to just like peeling them off.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I don't know why you've got a problem with underpants, but shoes. You see, I'd
Who's
never buy
buying
shoes.
underpants from a charity shop, though? I mean, I don't care how low you are on the socio-economic level.
I know.
You can get about 14 pairs for £1 in some places.
I know. I don't know who's buying underpants. I don't know who's buying your underpants. I definitely don't know.
I mean, if they were signed...
yeah.
That is something I like doing, though. When I've given to charity, I like going past the shop and seeing if it made it in the window.
Any success?
Yeah, recently, the one not far from here had me egg cups in the window. So it's like, oh, look.
What, you've got a new set of egg cups, so you've got rid of your old ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got any egg cups.
Haven't you?
There's nothing wrong. Honestly, it's hardly... it's made the window space. That's how good it was. It had hardly been used, that egg cup. Because it was a doubler. And I think they were quite small for the egg size that I get. I think they were made more for the small egg. And I have the large egg.
Right.
So it was never really
Just
used.
like your underpants.
What is this
But,
conversation?
A bit of a dilemma that my Auntie Nora had. She likes charity shops as well. She's got a neighbour. Went out to Graceland's, big Elvis fan.
Okay.
Came back. She said, how was Graceland's? I said, oh, it was brilliant. We've got a gift for you, right? They get out this clock, like a little sort of, it's like a Swiss, the Swiss sort of, looks like a little
clock.
house, like a cuckoo clock. But on
Oh.
the hour, little Elvis comes out the top and goes, right? So she went,
Okay.
She's not really into Elvis. She's more into Jim Reeves and
Yeah.
Glenn Campbell and stuff.
Yeah.
But what can you say? She said, oh, thanks for that. She took it in the house.
Maybe they could get attachments. Maybe you get a little Jim Reeves to pop on the spring.
Right?
And
That was my first thought. That's where I thought that story was going. So she took off the Elvis head and had whoever, Jim Reeves or whoever they're talking about, come out and go, or whatever.
Or whoever.
So anyway, it's in the house. She's thinking, I'm not going to put that up. It's not her sort of thing. So thinks, give it to charity.
Of course.
She goes down to the charity shop, gives them that, thinks nothing of it, goes off to the pub for an afternoon drink. Anyway, next day she's going out for an afternoon drink again. Passes the charity shop. It's in the window.
And the chances are her friends are going to pass by.
That was a dilemma.
Of course.
She had to buy it back.
A hugely inflated price.
Oh my God.
Comic relief here is sort of it happens every other year, and people often do things in their workplace or at school. They can dress up, they can raise money in different fun ways, and we were told in a school assembly, was Comic Relief next Friday, everyone has to come along dressed up in fancy dress
There he
to school
is.
on that day.
Has to.
Yeah, they said have to dress up.
That's annoying, isn't it?
So of course, I'm looking forward to this because I'm a sort of aspiring comedian and that. Get to dress up like a clown, right? Spent
Wow.
quite a lot of time getting the old clown outfit together.
What did that look like?
The shoes, obviously, I just wore my regular shoes.
Exactly, yeah.
But I had the red nose, a wig,
Wow.
the whole deal. Big bow tie that my mum made for me, I
Aww.
thought this would be the best day ever, right? Get to school. I want you to picture this scene, right? During the assembly in my class of 30. School uniform, school uniform, school uniform, school uniform, school uniform, school uniform.
Clown.
Lanky kid dressed as a clown. School uniform, school uniform, school uniform, school. So obviously no one showed up dressed like an utter dick except me and about two other knobs.
What disappoints me is that for a man who was a self-confessed aspiring comedian, you chose the least funny thing in the
A
world
clown,
to dress as.
right?
Yeah.
Clowns are anti-comedy. They suck comedy out of the room. It's not...
You're right, and this is from a man who wanted to dress as Hitler at the Golden Globes.
No, that's
He
funny.
knows funny costumes when he thinks. But you were saying about the guys who bother you in the street. Did I tell you that when I pretended to be foreign to try and get out of that? Did I tell you that story?
Amazing.
I've periodically used this method throughout my life, and not so long ago a guy stopped me with one of those charity tunics, and I sprang into my old trick. I was like, sorry, I don't...
An elderly Russian woman.
I don't know what voice that is. I don't know what accent
it went from vaguely French to sort of Eastern European beggar.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. And the guy, and I was sort of, I don't. He was, well, just let me explain to you about it. Sorry, I'm not from. And the guy.
This world.
Sounds more like
Sorry,
sounds
not
more like a
from,
sheep.
and the guy,
This
he
wo-
was, well, just let me explain to you about it. Sorry, I'm not from. And the guy.
This world.
Yeah.
I am from planet Snork.
And the guy said, "Are you Stephen Merchant?"
No.
Swear to
Sorry. Not when you were famous.
Oh, yeah.
No, you didn't.
Oh yeah.
It hadn't occurred to me. It was like a lapse of
No.
concentration.
God.
It was a
almighty.
lapse of concentration
dumbass.
because
And did your bow tie spin round and you squirted in water and ran away? That's what I'd have done.
because it's one of those things where you don't always remember that you've been on the. It's not like I instantly remembered that.
Amazing.
So he says, "Are you Stephen Merchant?" And then you're at this position where you've got to go. Either you've got to admit what you did, or you've got to carry on the lie. And I chose the second one. So I was kind of like, I don't know who that is. What? I don't know what you're. And he was like,
Oh, God.
really? You look a lot like him. I was going, I've never heard. I don't.
In fact, you are Stephen Merchant. Freeze.
Dude, do you have any idea how hard? Well, maybe not that hard, but it seems like it'd be really hard to have somebody that looks so much like him and also be that tall. It's just a lot of coincidences. Honestly, I prefer that in a personality or in a person than the other way around when people just assume everybody knows who they are. And that happens a lot with people that aren't even really that famous. The other day, somebody came to the theater and apparently he was like mega famous, but in his little circle. none of us had any idea who he was, and he was like acting like everybody was supposed to know. And they just have that different like attitude about them. And yeah, homie, nobody knew. We found out later. But like, I definitely prefer someone forgetting that, you know, there's a very real possibility that people on the street are gonna know who he is.
I'm always getting stopped.
Oh man.
I mean, there's so many charities now. It's not just starving people
Oh,
anymore.
I thought he always got stopped by fans. Okay.
I mean, there's so many charities now. It's not just starving people anymore. It's everything.
Yeah.
One little fault, they're out there with a clipboard
Yeah,
asking for your bank
a
details.
lot of new diseases have cropped
Definitely.
up.
But that shouldn't be allowed. I think they should have, like, 1 year where they go, this year, you know, hungry people.
Right.
Sure.
Next year, people with a limp. Or
Of course.
just like they do with the China thing, with the year of the cat, year of the rabbit. It's very clear.
Yeah.
It's
Year
that
of the
year.
hungry.
That's who we're helping this year.
Right.
If you've got that problem, it's your year. You're going to have a good one.
And who decides?
Just have some meeting. Just have a meeting with
What would be the
charity.
first year? What would be the first year? This year?
Right, well, we'd look at it and we'd go, right, what are we hearing a lot of problems about? And someone goes, so-and-so's hungry. Go, right, are we all in? Are we in to give this lot food? And we're not just going to give
So
them
it's
food.
not everyone who's hungry, it's specific people. So it's like hungry.
Starving, people who are starving. If someone goes, oh, my kid's deaf, well, maybe next year. Maybe next year. It's not your turn this time. We can't help everyone at once. Because that's
Right.
life, isn't it? You've got to give and take in your own life. There's things that I
Right.
want. I can't have, I do without, have something else
But
that's
there's
more
so many
important.
causes that
Right.
But
it
that's
could
what I'm
wait
saying,
20 years
Steve.
before your
Okay.
charity
I
comes
know, but
round.
what can you do then? Because we're not sorting it all out anyway,
I'm paraplegic.
right?
Oh, I need help really bad.
So does everyone else.
Well, why are you giving
So
us the
does
hungry
everyone
now?
else.
Because if we don't help the hungry now,
Really bad.
so does everyone else.
Well, why are you giving us the hungry now?
Because
Why's
if
that-
we don't
oh,
help the hungry now,
Right,
they can't wait. You can wait.
right. Oh, God, I'm blind.
Is this a different person? now?
Yeah, I'm blind.
Right? Well, you're not hungry though, are you?
Well,
Is this a different person?
yeah, I'm blind.
Right? Well, you're not hungry though, are you?
Well, a bit peckish.
Yeah, well,
Where's the fridge? I can't find the fridge. Can you help me to the fridge?
Yeah.
Otherwise I'll be hungry as well. I'm blind and hungry. I'm blind and hungry because I don't know where the fridge is.
who's let you in?
That's an interesting question.
But Carl, this is just—it's
Just
a
some
chaotic
order.
idea. It's
It's
a chaotic
not.
because people who are hungry, there's always going to be people who are hungry.
Yeah, but I sort the problem out.
How do you sort it out?
Because I'll go, right, not only are we just giving you food,
Right.
we're giving you some seeds. We're giving you a pan.
What,
We're
you
giving
think they haven't
Let
thought
me
of
hear
that?
the theory, please.
Sort it out. Don't just give food. That's going to run out.
Right.
Give them a proper... You see, the problem is, there's companies who jump on the back of all... Do you know when I was in the
Okay.
jungle? When
Right.
I was in the jungle,
Yeah.
right? On that travel thing.
Yeah.
I like how they don't properly mention what it is. That travel thing.
I was in that tribe, right? Now, some company had given that tribe a laptop because it makes them look good. They can send out a press release. Well done to so-and-so computers.
Right.
They supplied the tribe in, you know, out of Amazon with a computer. I saw it. They were using it as a breadboard because they don't know what it is. They've got no electric. It's useless to them.
Right.
And that's what charity does.
Right.
Companies use it to make them look good. When I was there and I really needed to go to the toilet,
Very
I was
true.
thinking, our tribe, I wonder what their toilet facilities are like, right? Thinking it might be better than just doing it in a hole. Surely they've built a toilet. They're not stupid people. They kill animals. They know what they're doing. They know how to cook. Surely they've built some sort of unit. Turns out they don't. They still do it in a hole. But some company had been there, some plumbing firm, and given them a toilet, right? The bloke who, you know, the producer who was out there, he said, oh, you'll be happy. There's a toilet round the back there. I'm thinking, oh, brilliant. I go round there. It is a toilet, but it's not plumbed in.
Sure.
So it's just a vase with shit in it. It doesn't work. And this is what we need to do. We need to get out there and say, this is how it works. Educate them.
Okay, so let's do this then. So I'm a starving African. Hello, Carl.
Seeds and
Have you got any
education.
food?
Take note, people. Take note.
So I'm a starving African. Hello, Carl. Have you got any food? Got any food?
Oh, why is he so shy?
Well, I have, but if I give you my sandwich, there's someone else behind you, and they'll all come out.
So what are you gonna do then? What are you gonna do?
I'm going to help you.
How? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna make you think about how to make food.
Oh, okay, right.
Have you ever grown anything before?
No.
Right, well, here's some seeds for potatoes.
Brilliant. Oh, thanks, Carl. See you later. Do I just put them in the ground, yeah?
Put them in the ground and water them.
Oh, there's no water, you dopey cunt.
There is some
No,
water.
there's no water, you dopey cunt. That's why we're starving, you dopey cunt.
Right, well, at that point, that's where I go, well, this is a lost cause here.
Right.
There's no point.
Can I have your sandwich
then,
after all,
no,
or
you're
what?
not having it. You're not having it now.
So not only can I have a sandwich, you give me seeds with no water, you useless, bald-headed fucking twat.
Oh.
Right, but all I've done there is made the mistake of the computer firm who's given a laptop to a tribe. It's
Right.
useless.
Right.
But there's got to be another way around this.
Go on, then.
Either move,
Right.
because every year they're going to be queuing up saying, I'm hungry, give me a sandwich. No, you're not having another sandwich. You're not having
The
another sandwich.
animation is
They're gonna
just
be queuing
too
up saying,
cute.
"I'm
Look
hungry,
at
give me a
this.
sandwich." No,
The
you're not having another
expressions.
sandwich.
Once again, it's an utterly ill-informed discussion.
Yes.
I'm just saying, there's no point queuing up every year. Do you want a sandwich? Here's a sandwich. The next year, can I have a sandwich? Where's your brother? He died. It's not sorting anything. It's buying him an extra day, an extra month or something.
But
It's
Carl, the
pointless.
point is, like Ricky's just flagged up, is that some of these countries, the conditions,
He died!
the conditions are not there to just be able to plant potato seeds.
So what are they meant to do then? Do you think we should go out every month, every year with sandwiches? Is that your answer, like some sort of buffet, an all-you-can-eat thing once a year? You see, it is bad. I don't want to come across harsh. They've got nothing. We waste stuff here. Waste annoys me just as much.
Right.
When I see sandwich shops chucking stuff out in bin bags, binning it, when there's people out there who are hungry, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I don't understand.
Right.
It's a problem that isn't being solved.
So your conclusion to
and
these people...
and I don't know how old this is, but so many freaking years later, and same, all the same, or worse, or much, much worse. Because they didn't listen to Carl. They just didn't listen.
Because there's no water where they are, right? Is move. That is your honest... They should move.
Well, what's your solution?
Well, I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't even pretend to know. But
I tell you, it's not just it's sticking a, what's that saying? I don't know, it's sort of sticking a plaster over a hole or something, and the plaster comes off, it's a problem again.
yeah, that's the saying. Yeah,
It's the same.
I think that was Mark Twain.
Ah! I wanted them to
Twain.
read it out. Because I can't read that. But yeah. Oh boy. Ah, man. I actually really like that it ended with him asking Ricky, well, what's your plan? What's your idea? And he had nothing to say. Granted, he did say properly, I don't pretend to know. That's fine. I'm with that. But, oh, man. Oh, Jesus. See, I can't picture Carl Pilkington's father. I can't picture somebody more exaggerated everything that makes Carl. It's too much. Like, Carl's already, whoa, that's a lot. Like, I can't imagine more Carlness. It's more grumpiness, more... I just don't want to go there. But, wow. Oh, man. Just... You know, I just get them to move. Whatever. Oh, God. Oh, man. Such this whole episode was just on such very complicated topics. Just, it's funny because comic relief, apparently, I've learned, is something very, very common in the UK, but I've never heard anything like that like that so specific in either the States and especially not in Argentina. So it's just like, it's very normal to you guys. And I always see, you know, when they do sketches and this and that for comic relief. And I've watched some things and like, oh, but this is the worst thing. It's for comic relief. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I learned. And just, it's pretty cool that they do that. But I'm curious. Does anybody know what this year is? Is this year hungry people or blind people, or what are we supporting this year? Because, you know, if I'm gonna contribute, I'd like to know about it. Oh man. Anyway, ta-da. That's just, I love this show, and I love these people, and I love the format, and I love the animation, and it's just, it is so good. So there you go. It is what it is. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for everything. Thank you for supporting, and thank you for all those words. You guys are amazing. Yeah, I'm off. Toodles. I clicked wrong like 5 times. Toodles.